Jaylene's not sitting out in the hallway, is she?
No, hopefully
No, I
not.
went and looked. She wasn't out there.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to council. Tuesday, October the 11th, 2016. Calling meeting to order at 7 p.m. As always, we start off our meeting with a safety share. Councillor Lake is going to share that with us this evening.
All right. Well, as someone who works in a cesspool of germs, which is our public school system, I can talk to you about flu prevention. I feel like half the school has got the flu right now, so this one is near and dear. The information we got, the single best advice to not get the flu is to get vaccinated each year. And lots of people say, I'm young and healthy, I don't need to get vaccinated. And of course, you don't get vaccinated for you get vaccinated for those people that are at risk around you, the elderly and the immune compromised. So public health always says get vaccinated every year. Avoid close contact, especially with people who are sick. Keep your distance. And if you're sick yourself, keep distance from people. Everybody wants to be a hero and go to work or go to school when they're sick, but in order to spread and not spread the flu, you should stay home if you're ill. That way you're not contagious to anybody. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing into your elbow, not into your hands, which often come in contact with people. Wash your hands often to protect people and to get germs off your hand. If there's no soap and water, most public facilities now have alcohol-based hand rub. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. Germs spread from contact with hands to hand to body. And practice other good health habits. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces at home, work, or school, especially when somebody's ill. Get plenty of sleep. Be physically active. Manage stress, drink fluids, and eat nutritious foods. All of that, and you still may get the flu, but your chances will be less.
Thank you for that, Councillor Lake. Okay, moving right into the agenda now. Members are requested to note any additional deletion of the agenda this time. There's going to be a couple of verbal reports under item 11A. Councillor Debuchy will do a report on the library board, and myself will do a report on the Zone 1 Police Service Board meeting that took place last week. Anything else?
I'll make a verbal report, Your Worship, on the consultation process for the new recreation complex as well.
Okay, great.
Just verbal?
So under administration?
Yeah, AP.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, hearing none. I have a motion here that council hereby accepts the attached agenda for Tuesday, October 11th, 2016, regular meeting of council as circulated and amended. Moved by Councillor Lake, second by Councillor Debuchy. Any more additions or deletions? Hearing none, call a question, all in favor? Great, thank you. Any disclosure of interest? Hearing none. I do have a motion here from the previous meetings of council that council hereby adopts the minutes of the meeting of council held on Monday, September 26, 2016, and the closed meeting of council held on Monday, September 26, 2016 is circulated and amended. Moved by Councillor Zingra, second by Councillor Lake. Any errors or omissions of those minutes? No. Call a question, all in favor? Carried, thanks. Okay, this evening, as part of our delegation, we're going to recognize we have two new student councillors. One was able to make it this evening, Michael Stone, Councillor Michael Stone, and he'll be sworn in. And then, of course, Jaylene Bowman is a second councillor, and she was not able to make it this evening. So we'll swear Jaylene in the next council meeting. But sure. We'll definitely have Michael come up to the front. I think our CEO, Darius Koczynski, is going to get Michael to go through a swearing-in process. So, Michael, if you wouldn't mind coming right up to the front of the chamber, in the middle.
Take this. Yeah, take that.
So speak loudly so the public can hear you. So I would just get you to read what's written on your sheet there.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind turning around a little bit, Michael. Perfect.
Whenever you're ready.
I do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any
Pecuniary
pecuniary interests, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Multiple Conflict of Interest Act. I will faithfully and bear true allegations to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or the reigning sovereign for the time being. And I make this solemn promise to declare conscientiously, thank you, believing it to be the true, knowing that it is of the same force and effect as it made under oath.
So we'll get you a sign right here. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Michael, welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
I think Michael, stay right in front of the
Michael.
Mr.
Congratulations. You can't do anything in politics without getting a photo done.
Okay, the mayor on one side and Daryl on the other, so you,
Well, here, bud.
yeah, because that's the way it'll be.
Admin and the mayor.
Okay, now, okay, Michael, hold on to that too.
Somebody's got to be-
That's me. Oh, nice. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Nice picture. Michael, Al's got to say pecuniary 3 times every day before he goes on the air. I thought I'd get a smile out of that.
You did it. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Michael.
Exactly, so, great, okay, welcome aboard. So, right off the bat, we have a student council report, so we're gonna ask Councilor Stone, sorry, to share a quick report with us. That was
Week, this one doctor woman and talked about stress at. So she interviewed ages from 13 to 16, 59 people over America. That bullying was actually one of the lowest points for stress. She believes most people spoke honestly about. And also alcohol and drug use. One thing she did notice that in that factor, but most people didn't have stress over that. The highest thing for stress though was just family and friend drama, and just the amount of schoolwork or that. But a good thing to note was that a high majority of the people that she interviewed said that they handled stress quite well, that they knew how to seek out ways to deal with the stress, such as looking at the broader picture, just taking a step back and taking a quick breather, or seeking further help as like a teacher or friend or someone to help them with homework or family or friend stress. And yeah, and that's a few good ways. She also suggested that you could deal with stress as well, is seek out trust people that you trust and that you like, and to just seek out someone with probably greater knowledge, or just take a broader look at the picture. She also said that you're able to contact the Marathon Family Health Team if you have problems with stress, and the number is 1-807-229-3243. So they're always willing to help with stress and helping teens cope with that.
Great, thanks a lot, Councillor Stone, and you made a good valid point about the amount of homework that Councillor Lake probably puts on his students, but good valid points. And I think there's another one that there's another opportunity for kids who might be seeking some assistance in the Kids Helpline. It's a great tool out there for total non-anonymity about calling in and talking to somebody, looking for some advice, some peer advice. So it's a good opportunity for somebody who's struggling a bit with some issues, so spread that as well. So good report, thank you for that. Up next, we have CO report on the Community Infrastructure Fund, copy to all members. CO, Daryl?
Thank you. So in July of 2016, the town received its allocation notice for the Expanded Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund, OSIF, they all have to have acronyms. Formula-based component from the Ministry of Infrastructure. The expanded OSIF allows eligible recipients to accumulate annual grant amounts for up to 5 years to address larger priority infrastructure projects. Eligible expenditures have been expanded to include water and wastewater, loan payments on new core infrastructure projects, and municipal staff time dedicated to asset management planning. To be eligible to receive the allocated OSIF funds, the town must enter into a contribution agreement with the recommends that council approve option A and that the mayor
Mayor and clerk to enter into a contribution agreement with the province of Ontario under the terms and the conditions specified in the OCFIF funding. Moved by Councillor Lake, second by Councillor Fox. Questions? Councillor Fox?
Was this all based on per capita? The numbers? I mean, are we just accepting that because we've never had it before, and later on we find out that Wawa got a heck of a lot more money?
No, it's not based per capita, but within the allocation notice is the formula. There's a couple of different components that go into it. So, it is a fair number for the town of Marathon. It is formula based.
Okay.
Anybody else? Councillor Lake?
You know what, I always feel like we're always complaining that there's not kind of sustainable funding that's kind of laid out for us so we know how to budget. It would be nice to feed back to the government that this is appreciated, that there's numbers in place now so that we can go forward and budget instead of kind of competition-based things or, dollars one day, not the next. So just that feedback to the government that this is a way we want to be able to manage our municipality. So when they do something good, we should probably say thank you.
And just part of that discussion we had at AMO was we thanked the government because we had got notification that this sustained funding was coming through. And we did make mention to a couple of the ministers we met with that this was great. And the reality is you're absolutely right. By having this funding that's guaranteed for the future, and it's going to be increasing as time goes forward, that you see those numbers are identified and they increase each and every year up to 19, that we can go out and borrow a lot more money based on those numbers combined with the federal gas tax dollars. It's a good move. So it's sustained funding. That's what we've been arguing about, right, Councillor Lake? So it's getting that sustained funding so we know what we can budget for. Now, there's the other part of the federal budget that we've waiting to get the application form in for the infrastructure funding, which we can utilize some of these dollars towards those projects too. So it's a kind of win-win-win, right? Yep. Councillor Debussy.
Just a note too, in your Thunder Bay District meetings and of course with AMO, is get the message across not only to the government in power but the opposition governments that this is a want of municipalities, so that in the change of government we're not changing the funding structure because again this has some ties to, I guess, the election platforms or the timelines for elections, so that after 2019 with a change of government it isn't back to the big borrow and bid theory of getting funding for projects.
Yes, and so much for the NOMA brings that agenda item to the governing power, as well as the opposition, as well as the third party. So all three parties are aware of the issues that we're arguing with the governing power, and then they're fully aware of the goods and bads and part of the process that we bring to their attention. So, do you have anything to add?
Your Worship, just a follow-up to Councillor Fox's question, so I have it here in front of me. So our amount is calculated based on an infrastructure index ratio. Two indicators go into the ratio. One is the ratio of core infrastructure to weighted property assessment, and the second is the ratio of core infrastructure per household to median household income.
Okay. So I do have a motion.
I did not put that at all. That's okay.
No? Okay, so I got the question. Call in favor. Carried, thank you. Okay, up next, we have a report on the rec center survey update. Daryl.
So thank you, Your Worship. Just briefly provide council and the public with some of the initial results of our preliminary public consultations with respect to the feasibility of looking at a new recreation complex. So we held a number of consultations last week, both in Marathon as well as Pick River First Nation. Pleased to say we had actually a really solid turnout, probably well in excess of 200 people over the 2 days. Filled out surveys, as well as spoke with our consultants, both those from True Grit Consulting as well as Form Architecture, who were here in town to talk about some of their ideas and suggestions as well as some of their concerns. So currently all that information is being taken back and compilated and will be put into a readable format. We'll utilize that as the next steps to advise the process. That information will be made available to the public so the public can see the results of the surveys and the public feedback. Really what we hope to glean from that initial process is to narrow things down to two perspectives. One is what a new facility is going to look like, and they're called block diagrams. So it's not the detail that you would see in construction drawings, but it's what the size and the scope of the facility will look like. From that, we're then able to look at suitable sites within the municipality that can support that new infrastructure. So we'll complete that over the next month and a half. The plan is to come back to the public in early December with those concepts, and once again ask for public feedback. Did we hit the mark with what the public told us? As well as we will have some more detailed costing, both on the capital as well as the operating side. So we have Meyer Norris Penny completing that for us. They're actually in town this week doing that. So we'll have a very complete picture when we come back to the public next time in December, and then ultimately to council for approval of the final reports, which sets us up well to look at more detail in 2017, or look at alternatives to fund a project such as that.
Okay. Also, just one other thing, if you don't mind, Councilor Lake, there was a second part of that phase, Daryl, was the Public Works facility?
Correct. So the Public Works facility was a component of the same project. There was no public consultation, obviously, a different process. But what we did do is we consulted internally, so we had a committee made up of Works and Operations staff members, and that process is being completed as well, and we do currently have draft designs that we're going through for that facility.
Good. Councilor Lake, sorry.
Just a question about, obviously there's no price tag attached to it yet, and everybody, if you said, do you want a new arena, probably said yes, without knowing the money. But was the public generally pretty enthusiastic about the project, or?
Yeah, I think if there was any initial concern, it was, what is this going to cost and how are we going to fund it? And I think that's, one of the really important components we're going to complete in the next month is not only a detailed financial analysis, but also we've asked the consultant team to do a best-in-class review. So they're going to take a look at 5 communities across Canada with similar size facilities, so we get a true handle, a true scope of, what it's going to look like and what it is going to cost, not only capital but operating, and as well as look at options on how to finance it, right? Is it a public-private partnership model? Are there senior levels of government we can approach? So it'll be a very realistic assessment and estimate of what it will cost. So certainly lots of enthusiasm. We did get questions such as, well, why don't we just renovate our current facility?
Yeah.
Which in reality is more expensive than looking at a new facility. What we will gain with a new facility is a lot of efficiencies. We're currently really operating 3 facilities in one building with a high operating cost. So a lot of the questions that we did get were excellent, and we'll certainly be able to answer them in more detail when we come back to the public in the next round of consultations.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Good.
Just one
Councilor
thing.
Dewitt?
As part of the other public consultation, I think the business community should be looking at this as a project to develop around also. And I think the Economic Development Corporation should be partnering, or at least gaining some ideas from the business community. Because as we see further on in the agenda with Thunder Bay and their event center, it is all tied to economic development too. And you can really push development or push some economic benefits for the community off projects like this also. So I think that's another one that I think should be brought forward to the Economic Development Corporation and the business community and say, look, this is something that will benefit you also in the long run. So
Good, thanks. Anything else? Thanks for that verbal update. Up next, we have no check runs, but just a verbal report from Councilor Debush on the Public Library Board that he sits on, Marathon Public Library Board.
Thank you very much. As part of the library board's messaging that we'd like to get across, we just wanted to remind the public that the library board has extended hours that will run till the end of the calendar year, and hopefully beyond. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays are 12 to 8, and Saturdays are open from 10 to 1. The project for the 3D printer is ongoing. We're waiting for some of the components to arrive, but it will be coming soon with an announcement. And I'll guess some lessons and some workshops on how this will benefit students and even some young entrepreneurs who may want to use the 3D printer for prototypes and whatnot. And again, they'd like to thank the firefighters, Canadian Tire, and the Marathon Family Practice for their participation in that project. Thank you.
How's everything else in regards to the change of hours? Did they find that worked for them?
And there was some concern that some of the hours or some of the usages aren't there. The problem, or one of the things that I think the board passed on to the library or librarian, is it may take some time for them to develop that clientele inflow or whatever it may be. And it's not something that you can just say, well, it's not working, so we're going to do it. So that's why their commitment from the library board was to extend these hours through to the calendar year, and then that ties in with their budget year also. I think one of the biggest things that you can understand is it is a safe environment for young people and or adults to attend. There is more than just books there. There's programming that there's available. There's books, there's resources, and then again, the 3D printer will add to those features. The computer usage is almost 100% on active times. In this day and age where we all think we all have personal devices and you see them all at our desk, there are some disadvantage or some people who may not have the opportunity, and that's a valuable asset for that segment of our population. The other one too is the learning process. I mean, they have iPads and tablets, both I'll say iO and I'll say Android type. Obviously, Apple is the most popular, but they run sessions on for seniors and other people. So one of the best things about it is they get to not just use it at the thing, they get to take it home and use it. Okay. One of the things that we're looking at developing is, because there's some, I'll say, technology advancements, is we maybe also look at having those things as a cycle program, so that at any given time, or when we're thinking that we need to before it becomes obsolete, is give that opportunity to move those purchases or people to purchase those things, and then we can replenish the stock with whatever it may be. But again, one of the things, there's a lot of usage on the obviously the Apple, but remember, Android is a viable, handheld device. So there's a lot of Android devices available at the library for those who want to learn that portion, and it is not that dissimilar than the platform. So.
Good. You have any questions of Councilor Debussy from the library? Okay, hearing that, thanks for that report update, Kelly.
Thank you.
Councilor Debussy. Okay, up next I have a quick overview of the Zone 1 Police Service Board meeting that took place in Thunder Bay last week. There was a good agenda that was presented. There was some training. We have a new Police Services Advisor and Operations External Relations member from the Ontario Government, Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services, Graham White. And Graham assured us that he would fill the position of the provincial appointee really quick, but as we know, that those usually take a year or better. And the same argument that came up through all the boards there was the amount of time it takes for the province to make a decision on an individual that we present to the province, but yet we can appoint the individual from the municipal level the following council meeting. Doesn't make any sense, but anyway. It's okay. Thursday was a full day that started off with obviously welcoming remarks from the city and the chief and Chief Jackie Dojak, who's also the chair, and as well as Don Smith, the chair of the Senior Police Service Board, who co-sponsored the function. presentations on technology advancements and efficiencies within the OPP. Mark Bernard, Billy Mull, and Inspector Bert McDonald. They got a bit of razzing, good and bad. Razzing from us in regards to the high cost, razzing from the other municipalities who are in the low end who are going up. So they didn't know which way to take it. It was kind of interesting. They had about an hour and a half presentation. They made mention of 12 municipalities in Ontario still that are at the high end, the over the $550, $600. We're one of them. So we're getting in the right direction. As you know, council gets updated each and every fall in regards to where we are, and we're going in the right direction, just taking us a little longer than we anticipated. But at the same side, I think the max is $89 for the reduction, and the increase is like 40 for the going up. So it should be going up a little quicker, we believe, but of course, if you're a municipality who was only paying $100 per property, and now you're going to go up to $500 per property, you know, you got to justify that to your ratepayers. And here we've been $750, $800 per property. We're going down to the hopefully $400 to $500 range. So it was a good session, and they got a bit of rising on both sides, like I said. We had also the community policing, Joe Couto, and this was about the lesbian, gay members, LGBT members within the police forces, not just NOBP, but all across the province. You know, the bigger forces, of course, have a lot of members and diversity within their communities, so they're trying to diversify their forces to look like the community. And it's being successful, and of course, there's still a lot of stigma around the LGBT community, as well as the impact that they bring to the force. And a lot of people don't want to work with them. So they're getting better, and it's all about education, and Joe did a very good presentation on that. We also had an update from the Ministry of Community Safety Services, which was Graham. He's been newly appointed for the Zone 1-1A sections. And then retired Chief Police of North Bay, Paul Cook, and retired Superintendent Cliff Strachan. Talked about it. They do now, believe it or not, in Ontario, which I was quite surprised, external investigators working with police and for police. So the police will hire these individuals for specific investigations on a murder or B&E. Yeah, I was quite surprised. Anyway, they have fees for service, and they're out there and they're doing work for many forces throughout Ontario. I think more you would find them more rather than the OPP, more for the municipal forces, but they would work for anybody, they said. So it was quite interesting. And of course, presentation on the PTSD disorder, which is a post-traumatic stress. In the police as well as EMS, and of course they're always the ones on the scene right off the bat, right? And then firefighters. This is becoming a real issue within the emergency services personnel. So they have a lot of people working on this right now, and it's so hard to determine. So the doctor, Diane Whitney, who came in, she actually worked for the forces as a medical doctor, and she was posted in early 90s with the Afghan-Iraq war. And she said it was funny how she got affected, but she used to always get the PA announcement over the thing that there was a bomb, so everybody had to get bundled up in their bomb gear and then go put their respirator on. When she started in Thunder Bay Regional, she found that hospital did a lot of over the PA, but every time she heard one, she would get the kind of post-traumatic stress kick in. And she goes, I didn't believe it was happening, but it would happen. So it's as simple as that, but it's a very hard one to really control. And the cost is becoming more and more in regards to the cost for policing. And of course, the policing then reflects directly on the municipalities what the cost is. The presentation by the Thunder Bay Chief of Police on FPAC, and this was a community-based programs working with all community members and trying to reduce crime, education, crime prevention. Really good program. Thunder Bay is a really good leader in that regards, but of course, they get painted with the brush that they're really bad community overall because of the amount of homicides in Thunder Bay. But actually, Thunder Bay is overall a fairly safe community in all stats, except the homicide one is a real issue. And of course, they got their corridors of town that you talked about where there are higher crime rates in certain corridors of the municipality. Next morning, we had a presentation in regards to Chris Adams and Julie Tilbury in regards to the media with policing. And as our media representatives will know in the audience, that having Chris Whaley, detached commander here, Chris really did a great job on promoting awareness of safety and OPP issues and community policing. And since Chris has left, we've had a void there, and working with Paul and Mischik, our new detached commander, trying to get that community service man, somebody who's in media, because media is a big thing, and you have to get the information out. With Chris, and Chris Adams, as you know, came from the media prior to working for Thunder Bay City Police. He was on many news programs and news directors, so most of his career. But Chris understands. So what the city of Thunder Bay is doing now is they're doing making up their own TV show. the city police, so that they get the information out. So if there's a homicide, there's a break and enter, there's a high crime area, they put it out as a media release through Facebook and social media, and they nip all the rumors right literally in the you know what, and it really works. So it was a good presentation. And a management project in regards to the scope of electronic filing, and that's a big thing now, because everything, used to go and everything was on one of these, right? Now it's all electronic, and it's getting all that information from the filing cabinet to the electronic, and it's working, but it's amazing now, if you go do anything, look for anybody, just click, boom, there it is. Whereas before you had to go to a filing cabinet and dig it all up. So it's really improving the efficiency of police services, OBP, and of course, the city polices. And then, of course, we just had a following up in our zone meeting. Our zone meeting just focused on some of the issues we have within our zone. And we had our secretary resign, Brianne Gallagher from Terrace Bay. And now I think Shunya's admin secretary is going to take on the role. I can't recall her name because she just introduced herself quickly at the meeting. But Dawn Smith convinced her to take it on, and she's going to do it for at least a year. And then the fees will be going up a bit for the actual membership fees for the zone. We're going to go from 100 to 125. So it just hasn't been raised for a while, and like any board, they're struggling for dollars. So overall, it's pretty good, and a lot of good information sessions on that. Any questions of that? Nope. Okay. Hearing none. Good. Thank you. The big one, like I say, was Mark and Bert. Be costing. It was funny, but it's going in the right direction for Marathon, so we're good with that.
When do we get our number for this year?
We just received our number this year. We went down about $167,000 roughly. So
That's good news.
it's a good number, but you got to remember, we were at $1,412,000, and we're now at $1,067,000, I believe. Correct, somewhere in that range. So we're going in the right direction. We should be below $1 million.
Yeah. So Councillor Stone probably wouldn't know that history, but we pay more for policing than almost any community in Ontario.
Yeah, well, there were 16 of us over the $550, $600 range, and now there's 12 of us still in that $550, $600 range. Per property. They changed the model. They went from per household to 2 per properties. So if you take an example of a community up the road, for one of our neighboring communities might pay $150 per property, we're paying $500, $600. So it's kind of an inequity they're trying to get straightened and cleared up. So it's working. It just takes time. The transition and the phase-in period is what's frustrating for us.
2 more years.
Yeah, not for the guy at the bottom end. He's very, very frustrated because he's going in the wrong direction, he believes. Anyway, all good. We're going in the right direction. Okay, with that being said, I have a bylaw here. That bylaw number 1889 being a bylaw to authorize the Corporation Town of Marathon to enter into a contribution agreement with Her Majesty the Queen and the Right of Ontario as defined herein, with represented by the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs under the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund, OSIF, formula-based component agreement, be read a first, second time this 11th day of October 2016. Moved by Councillor Debuchy, second by Councillor Fox. Any questions of that? Hearing none, I'll call a question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, up next we have the third reading of that bylaw. That bylaw number 1889 be read a third time and finally passed this 11th day of October 2016. Moved by Councillor Lake, second by Councillor Gingras. Any questions of that? Hearing none, call a question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, we do have a motion here that was presented by the City of Thunder Bay that the council hereby authorize a letter to be forwarded to the City of Thunder Bay supporting the proposed event center and convention center. Did you want to comment on that, Daryl, in any regards?
Well, it's quite straightforward. Obviously, the city is still pursuing, the event center, of which obviously a major user will be the region. They've had to change their plan somewhat because of limitations with infrastructure funding, but they are looking at regional support. Obviously, I think as a municipality that frequents Thunder Bay quite regularly, as well as a number of our residents, this would be a benefit to the region, not just Thunder Bay. So certainly think administratively I would recommend that we support the city.
Okay. So I'll get the mover in a second to put on the floor. Councillor Lake, second by Councillor Fox. Any other questions or comments? Councillor Lake?
Just my sense is it'll also be a meeting space, right? Which is one of the things that I think we haven't had in our region. Like it's hard to hold an AMO or a big meeting if you don't have that kind of space, right? So I think as a regional body, we ought to support that kind of thing.
Yeah, just for council information, NOMA fully supports this. So you had representation from 37 municipalities, so basically all of us, but the city is also looking at the individual areas municipalities because it goes a lot further when you're going to bring this argument back to the provincial and federal governments for additional funding. So I assured Mayor Hobbs that we would all have, each one of our municipalities would look into it and have a motion. So that's all basically what we're doing here this evening, motion of support. So with that being said, I'll call a question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, prior to adjournment, I do have a few
No,
announcements.
Your Worship, one more under
sorry.
new business.
Oh, yeah.
Discussion regarding scheduling the public budget consultation.
Okay,
So administration has started internally the process of our 2017 budget. Really, what we want to gain from council tonight is just what council would like to see from a public consultation perspective and any prospective dates that council would like to see it completed within.
so as Council Lake,
So nobody ever comes to those. But I just realized like that having that thing in the arena was a way to capture some voices we probably don't have. Is there a way we can think of doing this outside of these chambers? Because I don't know if it's just that people don't want to come here. Or have it at 5 o'clock, is that the issue? Don't have it at 5 o'clock?
That's the problem.
Al's saying it's at,
Everybody calls and says, why have it at 5? I'm sure we talking, but yeah.
no, but I think that's the conversation I would have is we can set all the dates we want, but we keep doing the same thing and nobody ever shows up. Is there something we could try different or, I don't know.
So maybe one of, knowing, we have one more meeting in October, if council approves, certainly administration can bring some options back, alternatives to what we've, done in the past on ways to try and capture more interest. Certainly, camping out at the complex on a busy hockey night with a survey in hand is an option, there's no question. So what we could do is we can look at some best practices in other municipalities. I know Thunder Bay in particular this year is trying some different methods because they're trying to gain more public interest and more public feedback. So we can bring a report back to council and then look at the November timeframe to launch some of those initiatives, which leads well into December, is generally when we have a very first rough draft completed.
Councilor Bush.
Yeah, we also talked about open houses and stuff like that. I mean, the non-traditional locations may be the way, maybe using, I'll say, other social programs, either, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever it may be, where they can do their inputs. I mean, something other than what's been traditionally done. We'd all know, because we've been here, and we know that the participation or the engagement of the public isn't working as well as it should be using the traditional methods. So I think one of the things that we should be looking at is those things. And again, as pointed out, as you said, the center of the community seems to be, or we all kind of know, is the arena, and that may be one of the viable spots for holding a meeting.
So with that being said, and we've tried many different things over the years, but with that being said, you can't just specifically sit in a chair in the front of the arena like the consultant did. You'd have to call a meeting, a session. So the theater would be appropriate to go to the theater and call a 6 or 7 o'clock evening, Wednesday night or Tuesday night, whatever's a good night that the parents might be there, that maybe want to come in and talk to us, right?
Yeah, certainly,
Okay.
there's other options worth trying, to try and get more feedback, and at least, we're able to weigh, what we tried this year versus the past and determine if one
Sure.
method is better than the others.
I think we'd do a bit of a roadshow too, if you're really interested. We could also go visit some of the specific groups, like the seniors group or other groups within the municipality, and make a specific venture to their location rather than to them coming to our location.
That makes some sense.
We don't have to go as a whole council, but I think there's an opportunity for myself and the CAO or a couple council members to go with the CAO to visit some of the other groups and say, hey, what's on your agenda for budget or spending or whatever it might be that they're interested in sharing with us.
It's too bad we didn't discuss this yesterday. Could have come into the senior meeting that we had this afternoon, so.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with us proposing a November timeframe for the seniors club to sit down with them on at 2 o'clock, have a coffee or something, and just could be 20 minutes.
Yep.
How things are and what's on your radar.
That's great.
Okay, we'll get a feedback from the CEO in that regard. So yeah, we definitely want to start the process, right? So we're always on time with that, and we do good in regards to getting our process through the timeframes as we always have been the last many years, and so we'll work on that for November. Thanks for that, Daryl. Okay, announcements. I have a few announcements here. Just that as you know, the golf course is coming to a close this year. We've had a great season this year. I mean, this is probably one of the better seasons we've ever had at the golf course. So that will be closed, and your equipment must be removed by Monday, October the 18th. So please remove your bags and stuff from your lockers, as well as your golf buggies from the course. You can certainly go out and enjoy it, I think, up to that point. Hopefully it doesn't rain all week, but after that, the 18th, the course is closed.
Course is closed
So,
completely.
It's closed. There's no more use of the course after that point. Penn Lake Park, as you know, we close at the end of September, and maybe we'll have an update how that went in the next council meeting, how the park was, maybe the golf course too, because I think there's a golf course. It was a great summer. It'd be nice to have updated numbers. I just want to bring to the attention of council, I attended the AGM of the Marjorie House earlier this evening. They celebrated 30 years of operating the house, and I made mention, I had a little discussion with them as part of their agenda. You know, it's a great achievement, but at the same time, I wish we didn't have a Marjorie House in our community, because that way we wouldn't be dealing with violent crimes against women and children. So it's a great service that's provided throughout the region. It's not just Marathon's shelter house, but they did a great job, and they've been running for 30 years with great support from Marathon in the region. So hats off to them, but at the same time, we got to educate people to avoid the issues of domestic violence and domestic crimes. So it was a good meeting, and lots of stuff brought through in their agenda, and I shared it with council. So congratulations to the Marjorie House and their staff over there. Other than that, there was not much else on the agenda for discussion. The Remembrance Day process will be coming up soon, so remember that. To support the Legion, we'll have a discussion at their next council meeting prior to the Remembrance Day on the 11th. Other than that, anybody else have anything? No? Okay. Before we adjourn, we do have an in-camera meeting following this open session of council. So we'll be following this into a closed meeting of council directly after the public match session. So we'll adjourn at the hour of 7:45 p.m. Moved by Councillor Fox and second by Councillor Gingras. Thank you and have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.